I'm Derek Wheatley, and welcome to episode 86 of the Wheatley podcast. Thank you very much for tuning in, obviously today, and for tuning in last week as well, because I had a little solo episode thing where I just gave out, and it was one of John's favourite episodes, so that's positive. But as he said, it's because he likes giving out, and I think everybody likes to give out a bit and talk about our bugbears and whatever it is that annoys us. And even though I kept naming things that I keep going back to and looking up again and again to try and annoy myself even more, and when I'm doing it, I'm kind of giving out. So it's a very strange circle. But thanks very much for listening to that and like the feedback that I was getting for it. If you're new to this, or if you've listened to a few and you haven't done it yet, if you could subscribe to our YouTube channel, that'd be brilliant because it helps an awful lot. If you want to leave a comment, that'd be nice too. As long as they're decent comments. I don't want anyone coming after me because I said something bad about Donald Trump. We will not have that again. But yeah, thanks. We're going to get into it because let's do it. So our introductions. Last time we had part one of the quiz. I called the people in front of me on the screen. It was like a rogues gallery, and I'm not going to say that this time because it's impolite. So whatever the opposite is of that, this is what we have today. They're all former guests, but none of them have been on the YouTube channel. None of them have been on video. So that's pretty exciting. For me, anyway. We'll find out if it's exciting for them in a few minutes. So we'll start with our introductions. First up, we have our guest from all the way back from episode 20, and it was in studio, the bedroom. And this is the only person who has ever hypnotized me. And her name is Tracy Bolger. How are you, Tracy?
I'm very good, thank you. Thanks for having me back.
Thank you very much for coming back. We'll just keep rolling, then we'll get some chatting in, but we'll keep going. So next up is a guest on episode 36, again in studio, a long time ago, and someone who is a very close friend of mine. And I didn't think I'd get that from this podcast, but I have done, and I'm very proud of it. And her name is Ginny Breslin. How are you, Ginny?
Hey, buddy.
Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Next up, we have the guest from episode, I think that's 57. I'm pretty sure it is, but it might not be, but it looks like 57. And I before I forget, actually, I'd want to say a congratulations, because since the podcast episode, they got married. So my next guest is Joanne O'Dwyer. How are you, Joanne?
Hello. Hi, Derek. Delighted to be back.
Can we take any credit for the wedding?
Yes, it was all down to you.
It's so weird though, because Tyrone won the All-Ireland a couple of weeks ago, and we had the goalkeeper on, and we're not saying, we can't take all credit for it, but there's got to be something in the water over here in this house. So yeah. Congratulations again.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
And last but not least, a guest on episode 46. And what I will say, you should go to her page on Instagram, mindmama_IRL, because it's very difficult to get a page that is both educational and funny at the same time. And that's what I like about Nicola Glynn's page. So Nicola, thank you very much for coming on the podcast.
You're very good, Derek. Thanks a million.
That's all right. Got the first plug in. I'll be plugging all evening. I'll have to space them out because nobody likes to, a plugger, as such. So we might as well just listen. We'll chat as we go. We might as well get into the first question because it's one that Calvin sent to me on episode 40 when I was doing a questions episode, and it was pure Calvin. He was on the episode then, part one of this quiz. And the question is your favorite power ballad, or the greatest power ballad. And I'm going to start with Tracy on this one.
Okay, so I was Googling earlier because I leave everything in life to the last minute. I've known about this for weeks. And what do? Have a nervo the evening before. So I chose Big Countries in a Big Country as my favorite power ballad. When I Googled the definition, I can't remember now, but it was something about like emotional rock, and mostly love songs. I don't think In a Big Country isn't a love song, but there's something about it. It's got that kind of wind in your hair, power ballady thing to it. So that's what I chose. I don't know if it actually falls into the right category, but to me, that's a power ballad. So like it or lump it.
It's definitely a power ballad. It's definitely a power ballad. I'm not going to judge it just yet now, but I'm going to write the score down, but I'm not going to tell you. Very good. Ginny, what do you have as your power ballad?
This one was wrecking my head.
Okay.
I probably would have grown up with a lot of those real 80s power ballads. And as you can guess, I probably went through all the family going, what do you think is yours? What's yours?
Yeah.
So I was kind of caught between like the Oreo Speedwagon, Air Supply, but I went with I Want to Know What Love Is by Foreign.
That's very good. That's very good. Yeah, that is like, I guess it'd be on the list if you ask someone to list their 10 power ballads. If the idea of a power ballad, I think that's one of the main ones, you know. I actually quite like that song. I'd leave it on, like, you know, I wouldn't put it. Do you know what I mean? I'd leave it on if it came on a shuffle or something, but I wouldn't.
What I did is I put a few of them on, and I found the one that I went with was the one where I was really trying to hit those notes at the end. You know, when you really like.
It's good. It's good. It's a good barometer.
You're hoping to God nobody else can hear you because you can't hit them.
Yeah.
But you're really going for it.
Yeah, that is the perfect barometer for a power ballad, I think.
A bit of Oreo Speedwagon in your car, Ginny, you can't beat it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I've done it.
So what about you, Joanne?
Oh yeah, look, they're all impossible. They're awful questions. All of them.
I know.
This one in particular was really impossible. What I ended up doing, similar to Tracy, was I did a Google search and I was like, whatever one I genuinely have listened to numerous times and enjoyed throughout my life, I'm going to go with. So it's Phil Collins, In the Air Tonight.
It was chosen. It was chosen on the lads episode. And I feel kind of bad. No. It's a great song. I just can't remember who it was that picked it, but yeah, it's perfect power ballad.
It's just excellent. It's so good. It's a classic. Yeah, absolutely. Every time gets me. So yeah, there it is.
Thank you, Joanne. And of course, someone mentioned the Gorilla and the drum kit.
Yes,
as well.
And the Cadbury's ad.
Yeah, that's the one.
That?
Yeah, that was great, and that kind of brought it back in because obviously with the whole streaming thing, it's easier to get. So, Nicola. Let's go.
Well, I have to say, this is one that I didn't even really have to think about too long about. I was like, Bonnie Tyler, total eclipse of the heart. I was like, just as Tracy said there, like the barometer for the power ballad, for me, it's the fists.
Yeah.
Like, you're reaching and you're like, you can just feel the power coming. You reach out, you grab it, you pull it back.
It's a very good, it's a strong opening round. I will give you the scores as we go on each round because otherwise it'll just get all mixed up. But so with 10 out of 10, it's Nicola. Joanne and Ginny are on 9 and Tracy's on 8. Sorry, Tracy.
Ooh, harsh.
No,
I used to like you, Derek. Do you remember that?
I do. But look, I like this podcast so much. I'm willing to lose people from my life, to be honest. So right, let me try.
I realized the stakes were so high.
They're very, very high. So the next one is going to be a non-scoring one, just why I transfer some stuff from one copy to another, even though we're only one question in. So your biggest fear, I'm going to go to Nicola this time. You don't have to think too much about this. I mean, mine is bananas. Everybody who listens to the podcast knows that. So Nicola, what's your biggest fear?
Butterflies.
Oh.
But I would caveat that with only the monarch butterfly.
Oh God, that's so specific.
It's extremely specific, yes. Any other butterfly, don't mind, think they're lovely, but the monarch butterfly is the spawn of Satan.
Why, how would we know the monarch? What color is the monarch butterfly?
It's the one that's everywhere, like literally everywhere. It's the one that's got like the black body and then it's got like orange wings, like orange and black wings.
Okay, I will kill everyone from now on that I see.
You do.
No, I won't. You really have to watch yourself. So Joanne, what about you?
I I hate saying it, but I actually don't really have any fears or phobias because I don't know. Look, I suppose like being really honest about it, probably when I was a kid, it would have been death. Don't want to make it a dark podcast episode. I know it's a light.
Too late.
I know. I've ruined it all. Let's go home. But I don't like. Yeah.
That's all right. It's not a scoring round, so you're okay. You get away with it.
Sorry.
That's all right. And Ginny.
So I'm opposite to Joanne. I have so many to choose from. I would probably say my biggest one, the one that probably impacts me most, is flying. Which is
is it the anxiety of like literally of being on the plane, or is there airports involved? You know, is it the whole situation?
I think it's just being on the plane, because like I used to love flying. I like when I was younger, I used to love going anywhere, and I actually love going abroad. I just actually the thoughts of being up in the plane, and it's just all the noises and stuff, and my brain just starts to go like my rational brain goes, no, that's just the engine doing blah 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 whatever, and then my Ginny brain just goes like, no, we're going down.
I think Mr. T, I think he used to knock him out, so you could always go down that route.
This is why I don't understand how they don't have an injection. Like they ask you how long your flight is, you say 2 hours, they give you a 2-hour injection, and then you're done.
Yeah, that could go badly. You know,
I don't mind.
Well, okay, we'll sort out an injection for Ginny for flying. But flying's a legitimate one, though. Yeah, I can understand that. I don't like heights, but they don't like heights. Doesn't really come into it when you're flying because you're too high. You're above the clouds. It's when I see things from a height is my problem. If I see the ground, if I see water or something, I start to get real dizzy or something. So it's more heights for me. But I don't like airports, so that's kind of again rules me out of traveling in general. But it's not my show. I don't know. I keep Tracy.
So cliche. I'm scared of spiders.
Absolutely
can't abide them. And I am all loving of all animals, but spiders can just get out of my house. And last week I was lying on my bed watching YouTube, and my beautiful German Shepherd on the end of the bed jumped up, tilted her head to one side and looked behind me. And I froze in terror because I knew there was something. I thought, oh my God, there's a big spider on the wall. But I was wrong. I turned around, and the huge spider, the size of a Staffordshire Bull Terrier, was on my pillow, right by my head. And my heart stopped pounding about 3 hours later. And I know I'm a hypnotherapist and I should have overcome this. I have done some work on it, and it is diffused to the point that I can catch them with something and put them out. But by God, I do not want them on my pillow. And if one landed on me now, I would jump out the window, and I'm up 3 floors. So I hate spiders, terrified of them.
I really appreciate you not killing them, though, because that's the easy way to...
I know. Yeah. I'm a bloody vegetarian, pretending I'm lovely to animals, but I just...
You're still being nice to them. You're putting them out. I'm sure they want to be out more than in, but
I heard recently that that's actually not nice because they're house spiders. You know, it's only those big brown guys. It's the way they move. It's really alien. And apparently, putting them out, they can't live outside.
Oh,
I'm not staying up all night worrying about that, to be honest.
I've killed thousands of spiders, is what you're telling me here.
Yeah, you're a mass murderer, pretty much.
Good Lord, we really have gone dark with this. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back with some scoring ones, and we're going to go for desert island songs. So you might as well, when I say your name, you might as well say the 3 rather than spacing out 1 1 1 1. You know, so this time I'm going to start with Joanne as she shuffles her papers around.
No, that's me.
Oh, that's you.
Worst question in the world.
No, it's just the easiest one of the lot, I thought, honestly.
It's absolutely fantastic.
What?
Literally, we were saying earlier on, it's like trying to choose your favorite child. It's not possible.
I don't think it's that serious.
It's literally that serious.
Sophie's choice.
I've done this, I think, maybe 5 or 6 times, changed my mind.
Well, I'm excited. These should be good, so. These should be good.
No, they're off. Okay. I ended up narrowing it down to the idea of actually being on a desert island. So if I was on a desert island, what kind of music would keep me sane? That's what I ended up kind of, thinking about it as. So the first one is Lovely Day by Bill Withers. It is the happiest most beautiful song of all time. It always makes me feel good. That's going to get me through the day. The second one was Dave Brubeck, Take 5.
Mm-hmm. Great song.
So another kind of jazz, upbeat, kind of I can get through the day vibe. And then for at night time, when I want to cry and be depressed because I'm on my own in a desert island, it's Oh Wonder, Lonely Star. Do you know that song?
No. Is it a country song?
No, it's a Oh Wonder. I suppose it's kind of, I don't know what category it would be.
Tell us why you like it.
Underground.
Right.
It's kind of electronically produced. Look it up. It's a beautiful piece of music and incredibly depressing. So you will cry all night long, and then the next day you can put on Bill Withers' Lovely Day again, and you'll be. Do you know? It's
beautifully, and I think the thing, like when I don't know a song, because there's many, obviously, I judge it off the person's enthusiasm for the song, and also I think. Beautiful. I think I like when Josh was on with the lads, he did it, thought of it as the desert island, as his journey. So when he landed on the island, how he tried to survive on the island, and then as he was getting off the island. So he did his songs in that way. They weren't good songs, but he had them really, they were terrible, but he doesn't have good taste in music. But I knew it was going to be his weakest round, but it was good. But I'm going to, thank you very much, Joanne. They're a very good selection. Okay. I'll go to you, Tracy.
Yeah, hello. So this killed me because my favorite songs change every day, and you could catch me listening to gangster rap on Thursday, and then on Friday I'm listening to, I don't know, Mozart or something. Not really, I don't listen to Mozart, but it changes a lot. I'm terribly cerebral, you know. But so I overthought this because that's what I do. I'm very good at that. And I ended up thinking, right, I'd want something upbeat and something to dance to, maybe, you know, work out to, get yourself moving, because you'd probably be prone to sitting around feeling quite sad that you're on a desert island. Mm-hmm. So I chose the Prodigy's Voodoo People because it lasts for about 4 hours, right? And it just always gets me moving. I can't listen to it without moving. So I thought, right, that'll lift me up a bit, get me moving. And then I thought how sad I would be if I could never hear some of my favorite singers anymore. If I had to pick one and I could never hear, you know, Jerry Cantrell and Lane Staley and Chris Cornell and Mike Patton, all these people are going through my head. So I thought I'd find a song that has a few of those boys in it. And then at least I'll have some of the lads with me on the desert island. So I chose a song called Right Turn. Alice in Chains made, but they actually called it Alice Mudgarden because it was a combination of Chris Cornell from Soundgarden, Mark Arm is his name from Mudhoney, and then Jerry Cantrell and Lane Staley from Alice in Chains, and it's a gorgeous song. Yeah. I thought I'd get a few of the boys in there so I wouldn't have to miss them all, but I would die without Mike Patton. If I never heard Guns N' Roses or Faith No More again, that would be woeful. Anyway, I then thought I have to go to the genre that I tend to always go back to. Everybody that knows me thinks it's a kind of rock chick. I love gangster rap. I'm always in my car bobbing along thinking that I'm Dr. Dre. So I chose from a Dr. Dre album, 2001, The Next Episode, because it features Dre, Snoop Dogg, Corrupt, Nate Dogg. There's a few of them on there. So again, I'm bringing in a few of my favorite rappers on one song. So those are my 3 desert island discs after much agonizing deliberation.
Very good, very eclectic, and I do actually know those 3 songs, so that's good. But it's always good to have gangster rap represented, because it's unlikely that I will do it. But I do like it.
Hypnotized by Vicky, but no,
that's a great song actually as well. That would have been a strong one. So we'll go for
up there,
so we go for Nicola.
So I don't know if I thought about it half as much as the other day.
Right, I wouldn't have either.
No, I do you know what? I wasn't even thinking about like being on the island. Maybe it's just what's going on at the moment. But I was like, being on a desert island on my own actually sounds amazing at the moment. But so I was like, I went for Good Arms versus Bad Arms by Frightened Rabbit.
Okay.
It's a Scottish band, and unfortunately, the lead singer actually committed suicide there, or sorry, died by suicide there about 2 or 3 years ago as well. But it's a very sentimental song. It's what I walked up the aisle to, and it
Oh,
was
come
kind
on.
of one of the bands that myself and my husband like just really bonded over, and we'd have very long chats about the songs and everything like that. So the band itself mean a lot, but it's that particular song it's my song. I've just taken it for myself. It's mine now. Then the other one I picked was Where We Go by Pink. It's one of her newer ones. Now I just love Pink. I want to be her when I grow up. And I was like, but out of all the songs, it's just, I find that it's a real, I don't know, it's just quite a powerful song, but it's still kind of poppy and it's not too heavy, but like it's a good, I know it's a bit of an anthem for me. And then the last one was Impossible, Nothing But Thieves.
I do know that.
Bit of a, yeah, so it's like it starts off quite slow, so it starts off a little bit sort of quiet and sad, and then it just bangs into a belter of a tune. So I was like, you know, if you were having a bit of a down morning on your desert island, I was like, at least this is kind of maybe kickstart you as well.
That's I would be the same as you, by the way. I wouldn't have thought of it so much as the desert island. I just wanted to frame the question in a better way than saying the greatest songs, because I already said the greatest films. So, but I cannot give the first one a 10 because of the story behind it. And I think you knew what you were doing with that one as well. I think you're tugging on my heartstrings, that one. But yeah, that's thank you very much for those songs. There's I'm not like, if I think a song is bad, by the way, I will score it harshly, same as a film or something. And if the scores seem like they're quite high, it's because I quite like the song. So it's not like I'm just being soft on the answers. But Ginny.
Yeah, I found this hard as well. And I kind of went with the other girls. I was like, did it as I'm on a desert island. What do I need? Because I found it too hard just to pick like my favorite songs. So the first one I went with was The Pretender by the Foos.
Yeah.
And I went with that because that was my walk-in music for my cage fight. So I figured if I'm on the desert island and I need to know that I can get through this, I've done a cage fight, I can get through the desert island. So I picked The Pretender. And then I'm figuring if I'm on the desert island, I will find a way of making some kind of alcohol. I might find something, grapes. I might be able to make vodka, wine, something. So got a bit of drink in me, I want to dance. So I chose What a Man by En Vogue and Salt and Pepper. So then obviously your somber mood when you're a bit down and low. I just wanted to even just chill. I chose Songbird by Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, that's a strong choice. That
I love that one.
That's an amazing song. I was actually reading an interview with Christine McVie today. But yeah, it's just that's actually very high scores, by the way, here. But there's always someone in the lead. And we have actually a three-way tie on 26 for Tracy, Joanne, and Nicola, but Ginny scores a 28 on that one.
Wow.
So make of that what you will. But I just want to see if we have another one here. We kind of talked about that. But, oh yeah, sorry. This is my favorite question, by the way. This is my favorite question because this wasn't a hard question for me at all. Like, none of them are. I know I said that already, but this is in particular. There is a right answer for this question. There's no right answers for any of the other ones, but there is for this one. Okay. So I'm gonna ask what is the worst film ever made, and I'm gonna come to Nicola first.
There was one that like jumped straight to my head and it's been stuck in there for ages, and I don't know why. I think I made a joke about it there not so long ago, but like The Great Wall.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
absolutely horrific. I was like, that's fucking like 2 hours of my life I'm never going to get back. I actually wanted to write to Matt Damon and be like, what the actual fuck was that?
Yeah, he was like the white man defending the Great Wall of China. It's always a good start to a film.
Yeah.
It's a shocking film. It reminds me of when I saw that one Tom Cruise did, The Last Samurai. I know people like that film, but for me that was just as bad, to be honest. But no, actually, let me take that back immediately. It wasn't just as bad as The Great Wall, because that's shocking, but that's a strong start. We'll go across to Ginny for this one.
This one I picked one that's kind of new enough, but it's a remake, and it's Blithe Spirit.
Oh Jesus!
And I really like the original, and when I saw this remake one, it's like, what the hell? It was like they absolutely destroyed it. It's brutal.
I saw the original. It's a great film, and then I saw all the reviews for the remake, and I said, nope, I won't be doing that. But I read some of the reviews, and I will take that on board. The fact that it's supposed to be
Why Judi Dench is in it?
Oh, is she in it? I didn't know she was in. But she's kind of in a lot of bad films at the moment. She was in Cats as well. So
yeah,
there's but yeah. So thank you, Ginny. That's so we'll go to Tracy next.
So you say there's a right answer, is it?
Yep.
But that's funny because I was thinking I might cheat with this and I'll just pick any Adam Sandler film, and that's funny.
No, it's not. It's not.
Ah, for the love of God.
It should be, but it's not.
Yeah, well, that's not fair because you're always giving out about Adam Sandler, so it should be.
Not
But I
always.
didn't.
Not
I
always
didn't.
giving out.
Well,
Every
you
episode.
I've heard you regularly give out. I actually didn't pick an Adam Sandler. I struggled with this again because I have the attention span of a goldfish. So if I start watching a film and I don't like it, I don't hang with it. I couldn't actually pull one out of the air. So I just come up with, I was talking to a friend earlier and he just went Sharknado, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty awful. So there you go, Sharknado. But I'm sure there's a million films that I can't stand, but I just can't get them to come to mind. But like Keira Knightley always annoys me with the quivering lip thing. You know, she's always,
Thank you.
yeah, beautiful. And I've seen her I saw her in a film where I'm sure, I can't remember what it is, but I think the director must have told her, don't do the top quivering lip thing. And I really enjoyed her. I think it was, I can't remember, but I actually have enjoyed it. But anything she's in generally annoys me because of the whole quivery lip thing. And what's that film where Tom Cruise does the awful Irish accent? Is it Far and Away?
Far and Away, yeah.
That's pretty awful. But yeah, let's throw Sharknado down to hell with it. Just
Fair.
obvious awfulness.
That's fair enough. Who haven't? Joanne, sorry.
Yeah, I don't know any of the movies actually that you guys have just mentioned, which I don't know what that says. So maybe I should go and watch really crap movies.
No.
Get to know my crap movies. Like I actually found this really hard. I suppose in terms of what I would be into in terms of movies, I love horror movies. And there's a lot of crap horror movies out there. So one of the ones that I just stood out straight away for me was Cabin Fever. Do you remember Cabin Fever? Where
I do remember, yeah.
They rent a cabin in the woods, these bunch of teenagers, and then they end up getting infected by this guy that they murder, and it's all very dramatic and ridiculous, and the acting is awful.
Yeah.
So yeah, Cabin Fever, I think
it's bad. It's bad.
One of the most horrific horror movies.
It's so many like Cabin in the Woods type horror films, and most of them are terrible. There's a couple of good ones, obviously. The correct answer is Ferris Bueller's Day Off, by the way. If anybody...
for God's sake!
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like that movie.
Should
It's
have
the
known
worst.
that.
Classic.
I've seen it about when I was a kid. My brothers used to love it, and they used to put it on all the time. And it's the most smug film I've ever seen. And that Matthew Broderick fella miming to Twist and Shout on the float and everything about it. And you're supposed to feel sorry for the lad with the, and they've got like his dad has got the big Ferrari and all that, and it's just the way it's told is very bothersome, and it just irritates the life of me. So that's the correct answer.
Okay.
But all of these answers are very valid. And fair play to you, Tracy, because I do give out about Adam Sandler once or twice though. You make it out like it's say every time the podcast, every episode, I bring it up. Now for the Adam Sandler segment, and then I go on and back in. So on the scores on that one, Tracy, I had to score you a little bit lower, and the reason being,
why not?
well, I think Sharknado was purposefully a bad film. I don't think it's trying to be.
I know, and it's so bad. It's probably quite. I really struggled because of my attention span. I'm gone if I don't like film in the first.
Oh, it's terrible. Like it is a terrible film, but I think that there's a kind of a wink to it that they're kind of going, look how terrible this is.
Oh,
it's going to
yeah, all those are just
Yeah.
Okay, fine, Derek, fine.
I still gave you 7. Though. Keep it up, and I'll give you 6. All right, I don't mind.
Bye.
So on 8, Joanne, and then
right, yeah.
9 each for Ginny and Nicola. I'm just going to read out the advert here for the gym. So rest there for 20, 30 seconds if I can find it. So obviously the gym's from Monday. Well, this is out Wednesday. So 2 days ago, the gym is back open for jiu-jitsu and kickboxing, more contact stuff. So it's great. And the kids' classes as well. And the CrossFit can have more people in, I think. I might be wrong with that, spreading false information. Fusion Training Centre, Monksland Athlone, a place to train in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, kickboxing, martial arts and CrossFit. A great atmosphere with experienced coaches and a real sense of community. If you want to join the team, find us at Facebook at Fusion Training Centre or drop in for a chat. Fusion Training Centre, train like a warrior. Take a breath there. Okay. Oh, yeah, by the way, I did mention already, if you want to have a listen back to part 1, I think it's episode 78. If you want to listen back to me answering these kind of questions, it's back episode 40. There was a slight difference in the naming of the questions, but I talk about my favorite song films, worst films, which I've just mentioned. But I keep mentioning it because nobody should ever watch that film. I wanted to ask this, actually. This is in honor of Joanne, actually. When Joanne was on the podcast, if you haven't heard the episode, you should. But Joanne talked about you talked about alpacas, was it?
Oh yeah, love alpacas.
Love
Yeah,
alpacas, right?
real.
What was the reason for that again?
What was the reason?
Well, why do you like alpacas in particular? Like,
What's
This isn't
wrong
a quiz, by the way.
with alpacas, Derek? For God's sake,
well, there has to be a reason, like, for liking them.
they're cute as hell.
They are cute.
Because I love all animals. Like, I mean, I've always loved animals. The thing about alpacas is probably because they're hilarious. Like, they're
Shit, yeah.
very entertaining animals.
Yeah.
They are. They're just beautifully hilarious naturally. They don't.
I get it. They are very funny, and I wanted to open the floor to the other people here. Tracy, what is your favorite animal?
Guess, Derek.
Don't say your dog.
Yes.
My
Can we get
entire
points for
world
this?
revolves around the dog.
I knew she was gonna. You see, you mentioned the dog already. I knew you were gonna bring it up, and she is gorgeous, by the way.
I'm like one of those annoying
You
mothers
better.
that's like, look at my child.
I-
So yeah, Facebook flooded. My favorite animal currently is my German Shepherd JC. I am in love, obsessed, annoying, and that's my favorite animal.
I'll accept the answer, but I will say you did message me and say you weren't going to become one of those. Is it fur mothers or fur mommies or something like
Oh
that?
no, there's a
You're
no
sounding
fur
like one.
baby talk. Oh come on! I'm allowed to love the dog dearly. I don't call myself a fur mom.
Mm.
You can shoot me if I start doing that, okay?
See, I think someone's
Or at
going to
least
have to
give me a
load that
stop.
gun. Someone's going to have to load the gun because it's on the way. It's around the corner. I can feel it. Ginny,
I'll get a picture. Look at my dog. Look
you just go on your Facebook. It's fine. It's
I know.
every,
at loaded.
It's there already.
yeah, she's beautiful though. Ginny,
Favorite animal?
yeah.
I like all animals.
No, you have to think of like when you were a child.
I always liked lions.
Yeah, lions are good.
I always like if I could cuddle one, but I wouldn't.
No, but cub.
Wouldn't do that thing where they sedate them and then you get a picture taken with them. I
Mm.
wouldn't do it. But yeah, no, I always kind of liked lions.
Yeah, lions are beautiful. Yeah. I probably like I cuddle the cub like.
I love,
No.
yeah, the lion
Yeah.
cub. It's so
Yeah.
cute.
I hold it up in the air and do the thing, even though I've never seen The Lion King. I've never seen it. I don't watch animated films. That's a conversation for another day. Nicola, how about you?
Well, I'm shocked. to
Shocked?
start. I believe you haven't seen The Lion King. That actually upsets me.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, to be fair, besides my own dog who's over there, I love bears.
Mm.
Ah.
I just love them. I think they're a class animal because, like, I think I did like an online quiz for it. Apparently, they're my spirit animal. But I was like, I'm loving the idea of hibernation. I love the idea of just like stockpiling food, eating loads and loads of food, and then going to sleep. I'm like, that just speaks to me on a very personal level. And
Yeah.
then I love the scratching dance they do
Yeah.
and the thing. I'm like, oh, it's just they're class.
They're beautiful. They'd rip your face off though. That's the word. That's why I don't like them as much.
Only if they're provoked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're happy. You leave them alone.
Yeah.
Don't
I'm
don't
going
go near
to.
them. Don't Just don't
Don't
interact
poke
with
the
them.
bear.
I won't do
Big
anything to them.
Bear. Yeah, don't poke the bear.
They're all very good answers. I obviously, if I was going for domestic, it'd be cows. But if I was going for international, I would say elephants. I'm a very big fan of elephants.
Yeah,
They're very beautiful and they're very
so intelligent.
very intelligent. And I love the way they mourn the dead.
Yeah.
I think that's very kind of special. So yeah, cows and elephants. Anyway, so the next one again. There's such good questions. I know I'm saying it before every one, and I know I've written the questions, so I'm sounding like a dick. But this is a good one again. We've got the greatest films ever made. And nobody don't even think about complaining about this one because I'm not listening.
Moaning. I'm gonna moan.
Why?
Because there's a billion films in the world.
Narrow them down. That's what
I did, Derek. I did.
Okay, well, you're going to go first then.
God. Right.
Down.
So, yeah, overthought it, trying to think about, what do you look for? What's the best film? Is it the director? Is it the effects? Is it the actors? With Nail and I is my favorite film.
Yeah.
I never tire of it. And that scene, well, not a spoiler for anyone who hasn't seen it, but Richard E. Grant doing the soliloquy at the end is just amazing.
Yeah.
And I would watch that clip over and over and never tire of it. I love With Nail and I. So that was my top film. Then I was kind of teetering between two, Train Spotting, because I absolutely love Irving Welsh, and I often find that the film adaptation of a book is disappointing. I didn't find that with Train Spotting. I actually really enjoyed it. But I actually went for Dead Man's Shoes, a Shane Meadows directed film with Paddy Considine. And I chose it because I was so engaged with it that somebody could have walked into the room screaming, and I was just glued to it every minute. I found it very engaging, and it was brilliant. I love Paddy Considine as well. And then the third film, such a cerebral, intelligent thing that I chose. You'll all be so impressed. Jurassic Park is my favorite thing in the whole world.
Okay.
When that film came out, I think I was 15 or 16. I went to the cinema and I saw a dinosaur in a field. The camera just came back and I welled up with tears. I was looking at a dinosaur walking across a field, and then there were other dinosaurs, and then there were T-Rexes, and every childhood thought I'd had about dinosaurs came to life. And I still watch that film and enjoy it. I think I don't think there was any kind of CGI like that before it. So I went to the cinema 3 times. And to this day, when the franchise brings out a film, I don't care about the storyline. I don't care about the acting. There are dinosaurs in the film, and I just adore them. So any Jurassic Park film, pretty much, but I'll go for the original because that was the one that made me go, oh my God, dinosaur.
I think that's fair. There's a scene, actually, I just want to mention in Dead Man's Shoes, not giving anything away, but where the guys, the villains as such, are rolling along in the car and in the rain, and Paddy Considine is standing against a fence, and the main guy comes up to him and they have a conversation, and it's like I've watched that scene on its own on YouTube so many times. It's just it's so good, and he's a great actor, and he's a pretty good director too, to be fair to him. But it's a great film. Very good answers, Tracy. Nicola, how about you?
So the first one, this one has always been one of my favorite films ever since I was a teenager. It's What Dreams May Come.
Oh, I do know that, yeah.
It's a really artistic film, but it's a very deep film too. So I think it was the first time I saw like Robin Williams and not like a kind of role, and he just did it brilliantly. And like his wife dies by suicide. I feel there's a pattern with my life. So his wife dies by suicide, but there's this whole, it's just such a layered film. And then he goes to the afterlife, but he's in one place and she's in another, and he fights for her. And it's just, it's a love story, but not it's not like a romantic love story. It's, he has to go through hell for her and everything. It's just, but it's like visually, it's always a film that stuck with me too as well. It's beautiful. And the other one I have, this one again, I saw it when I was very young and I love it, and I don't care what anyone says, but Gone with the Wind.
Oh yeah.
One of my most beloved films. I would watch it more and more, except I don't have 4 hours of my life to sit down and watch it. So that's a bit of a bummer. I had a big black and white poster of the moment where Rhett Bueller takes her and gives her the kiss, and it's like a close-up of that, and I have it up on my wall and everything. And then the last one, I feel like it's a typical one, but it's just a real feel-good one, is Forrest Gump.
Oh, yeah.
I just feel like it's an all-rounder Sunday kind of film.
Yeah, that came up on the last one, so I know what I scored it. But Gone with the Wind, yeah, it's challenging in the sense of some of its themes, but
absolutely, like there's no place for it in this day.
no,
and age.
there really isn't.
I think it's just the epicness of it.
Yeah, when I had the questions about the dinner guests on my own solo episode, I had Hattie McDaniel, who, you know, she played the servant, and she won an Oscar for it. She was the first Black person to win an Oscar, and she had to collect it from the segregated area from the back of the theater in Hollywood. And I think she'd be an amazing person to talk to, having gone through all that crap and having to play the same role over and over again, which she did in a lot of the films. But yeah, I mean, in its scope, though, the Gone with the Wind it's an amazing achievement for when it was made, you know, at the time, and everybody should watch it once, I think, because it's such a famous film. So Ginny.
I actually was the same as Tracy. My first one was Whitney and I.
Oh, wow.
I've watched it so many times. It's one that I would watch over and over again. It's one that, you know, one of those films where you just quote all the lines. I just absolutely think it's a brilliant film. I think Richard E. Grant and Paul McGann just absolutely nail it with that. So my second one, again, it's just films that I watch. They're obviously my favorite if I watch them over and over again. So another one is Goodfellas.
Oh, that's such a good film.
I don't know what it is about it. I just absolutely, I think it's everything in it. And especially the first time I saw it, I just thought Ray Liotta was absolutely gorgeous as well. So that helped. Yeah, it's the humor in it, just everything. It's gripping. It's just, and again, it's a film that myself and my brothers and sisters, we're terrible. We watch a film and the next thing we just learn all the lines, and over dinner we're singing the lines. It's ridiculous. But then the third one is Rear Window. Love Rear Window.
Yeah.
Again, watch it over and over again. Love everything about it. Even love down to the fashion. Grace Kelly's fashion is just, I just love everything about it. Yes, they're my three.
Very strong. I was hoping for someone to say Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That would be brilliant. But
what would you give? 0, literally?
Yeah, straight away 0, Joanne. Joanne, what are your answers for this one?
Okay, well, again, absolutely impossible, awful question. You know, I wanted to kill you.
Yes, okay.
The last 5
Get in the queue, get in the queue.
Because I love movies. I just love movies. It's like music, you know, it's
Yeah.
it's a really important pastime of mine for my whole life. So it's impossible. But because horrors would be a big category of mine, The Shining had to come in there first. Stanley Kubrick, absolutely loved. Would have studied him in art college and became temporarily obsessed. I would still be secretly a little bit obsessed. Also, The Shining, Stephen King, like in terms of the story of The Shining, I think in addition to that movie and how beautifully and creatively and artistically wonderful it was made and created, in addition to all of the amazing actors, Jack Nicholson, you know, it's just timeless. It's just incredibly timeless. I love how The Simpsons have captivated elements of it, and like it's literally become part of pop culture. It's just a classic, timeless classic. So that was number 1. The Truman Show. I don't know if anyone has seen The Truman Show. That would be myself and my cousin would have watched that like religiously over and over again as teenagers, and pretty much would have, like yourselves, known the script off, you know, and just obsessed with it. The score, Philip Glass music is just absolutely incredible. I still listen to that sometimes. Actually, I incorporate the music sometimes into my sessions. But yeah, just because it's beautiful piano music, it's very kind of dreamlike. And then the third one, I thought in terms of like, I was torn because I wanted to find something that was current, like something, because a lot of the stuff I was looking at and thinking about was stuff from 10, 20 years ago. So I wanted to look at in the last 10 years, what were the best movies? And for me, it was The Joker. Like,
Really?
it was just, yeah, I thought it was absolutely incredible. Between that and Parasite.
Yeah.
Parasite, I know, won Best Picture, and obviously was a Korean picture, so it was all very kind of new and cultural and amazing. But The Joker, I have watched already. Like, I mean, what was that? It was 2019 as well, same year as Parasite, and I've watched it about 10 times, whereas Parasite I've only watched maybe 3 times, so I had to go with Joker.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix in particular in Joker is ridiculous. It's so good. So the scores are kind of, this is the first kind that there's been a little bit all over the place. Nicola, Forrest Gump did you in a little bit, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I'm not a Gump fan.
What?
No, not
you don't like the Gump?
No, don't like the Gump or the Forest, either one. So Nicola got 24. Joanne got 27, Tracy got 29, and Ginny got the 30.
Booyah.
With 3 great films. And Goodfellas are one of those ones that are like, I wouldn't have every word, but I'd have quite a lot of the words and the scenes and the dialogue. It's
such... with the papers, get the papers.
And the obviously the most famous scene of the, Ray Liotta and Joe Pesci in the club. Obviously, what's so funny? What am I funny? Am I funny? The whole dialogue to that is just so good. So we will go on to another great question. I don't know what you're talking about, Joanne. These are so good, these questions. So this is a slightly different scoring system. So for the 3 guilty pleasures, worst plus should you feel guilty, they will be scored on that, because if you give me a song that is not a guilty pleasure, you're getting a low score. If it's a bad song, I mean, the perfect example was John when he came on this and he gave it 3 answers and they were terrible, and that's why they scored so high, because he just said them and he was fine with how bad they were. I didn't tell him that at the time, I don't think, but it doesn't matter. But so 3 guilty pleasures, and for this one I'm going to start. I can't remember any order anymore. So Ginny, I'll go for you.
Okay. My first one is I love a bit of Lionel Richie. So All Night Long.
I knew you were going to say that one. Why did I know you were going to say that one? That's weird. Okay.
It's like in the middle of it, you can pretend you can speak a different language as well.
Yeah.
Really go for it.
There's a bit of everything.
Then my second one is, again, because I think in a former life I was a dancer and I think I'm brilliant now. Sometimes I think I'm possibly like Brazilian or something.
Okay.
So Mambo number 5.
Oh, that's a quality guilty pleasure, I have to say.
But that's not just me. I have to rope my sister Shelley on that, because like we think we are salsa extraordinaires. That comes on. So,
don't be blaming your sister, Ginny.
Her fault. Totally her fault. She's older, so she wrote me.
Yeah, she's older.
And then the last one, this goes back. My excuse for this is it goes back to my childhood. My early teens or whatever. And it's Step by Step by New Kids on the Block.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
they love it.
Great tune.
It was, and I'll even tell a lie, I actually saw them recently. Well, when I say recently, the last couple of years, I did go and see them.
Did you? Were they out in Ireland?
Yeah.
Really?
I tried to get down the front because Joey McIntyre, I was sure I was going to see him at some point.
Ginny, you're the rocker, like you got a Fleetwood Mac t-shirt on, for God's sake. You can't be coming out with New Kids on the Block.
It was, they were like, they were hanging tough. It was like
hanging tough. I do know that one actually. I do know the ones that you mentioned, but I couldn't be I couldn't be sure of any other ones, I'll be honest. So we'll go for Joanne for this.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure, look, I actually wrote down guilty pleasure songs, right? But I don't feel a bit guilty about any of it.
Okay. It's okay.
Right? Because all of my old school dance tunes, 90s, I love hip hop old school, like all the way forever, till I die. After a couple of drinks, that's where I go to, and I love it forever. And I'm not a bit guilty about any of it. The first one is Montel Jordan. This is how we do it.
Yeah. That's good.
Brilliant. Actually. Gets me in the vibes. It's embarrassing, but it's great.
Right.
And I couldn't choose between any of the others, so I'm just going to pick something randomly. Finally, CC Peniston, is it? Amazing tune.
I don't know. Oh, I do know. Yeah, of course.
Right?
Yeah.
Ridiculous, like just such a good tune. And Another Night, I'll say Real McCoy.
How many have you got written down?
There's about 20. I'll just say the first 3.
Okay.
Okay. And
Yeah, no, it's fine.
About any of it.
Good. I'm glad you don't. I don't think there is such a thing as a guilty pleasure, but I think it's a good way. It's a good psychological question into whether you actually have deep down guilt for the kind of stuff that you like. And it can be more than songs. It can be, movie, it can be films. It can be all those kind of things. But yeah, that's the whole thing. And that's why this is the hardest round to score, because I know that you don't feel guilty about it in particular. And
it is very much in relation to what you feel is incredibly mortifying. So
yeah, I think that's fair. So on the back of that, Nicola, what do you find to be your guilty pleasures?
I feel like I've been set up here now. The first one I had, and I'm like, you kind of do feel guilty, but fuck when it's on, like you can't help it. It's Can't Fight the Moonlight.
Yeah.
Rhymes.
Yeah.
Like, you just can't. You can't help but get into it, even though it's an atrocious song from an atrocious film.
Yeah.
The other one I had was now this might be a bit topical, but it's Bewitched, but it's not C'est La Vie. It's Jessie Hold On.
Oh yeah.
So
it's going to be bad either.
It's like a bit of a country one.
Oh, I can't think of it.
It's awful, but it's awfully good. You know. I guess one of these is just you start like the which
they're reuniting, so you'd be delighted.
Get out there.
Ginny's obsessed with bands, groups, boy and girl groups reuniting. Basically, that's what she's telling.
But see, they told those kids, I would never have gone to anything. So, I'm going to be on that like white on rice. Then the other one that I had was 5. Everybody get up, singing.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I see heads popping. They get it.
So you're gonna do well on that one.
My head didn't move an inch.
I'm talking about you.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Not about you, Derek.
No, it's true. It's true. So these are kind of close. So Tracy,
how are you getting on?
I'm all right.
Right. Guilty pleasures. Again, I don't believe in guilty pleasures. Listen to whatever you like. But I took the question literally and thought, hang on, there is a song or an artist or an act that I do feel guilty about if I click on their videos or I play them on Spotify, because I don't want to support them because they're dicks, okay?
Okay. Nickelback.
The Antwoord.
What?
Have you ever heard of The Antwoord? They're a South African act, Jolandi Visser and Ninja. And I thought, I bet you know I Think You're Freaky. That was what their famous song. But they have a
Ginny,
song called
do you know that
Ugly
song?
Boy. What you asking? Right. So The Antwoord, right? They have a song called Ugly Boy, and it is so cool. It has a sample of, Aphex Twin.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a really cool song, an amazing video, but it has come to light in recent years, and there's video evidence that Jolandi Visser and Ninja, the act, they're misogynist, they're racist, they're unpleasant people. So I feel guilty when I click on their YouTube video because I'm supporting them. But
That's very
God, I love the song so much. So that's a literal guilty pleasure.
Yeah,
right?
that gets 10 out of 10 because you should feel guilty about it. So that's why it
I
gets a 10 out
feel
of 10.
guilty, and I resist listening to it or watching it. But once in a while, I watch it, and I feel guilty because I don't want to support these people. They're unpleasant. So then I went digging for the stuff, the guilty, this is cheesy and I should be ashamed, but I'm not ashamed.
Yeah.
And the reason I was laughing when Ginny was talking was because I chose Hanging Tough by Newton on the Clock.
No.
I went
Two of them.
I went back to my teens, right? And I was trying to find something that I thought I don't really want my friends to know I listen to this because I'm way too cool. So I got into that mode and I was like, I liked Hanging Tough a lot. And at the time I pretended I only liked Pantera and Megadeth, but I did actually like a bit of that. So yeah, Hanging Tough was my guilty pleasure. And then again, Ginny earlier mentioned REO Speedwagon. I'm gonna keep on loving you. And I love it. And I only chose that because I think it's a song that a lot of people that know me would be like, you like that? But I'm not ashamed. I love it. So those are my 3 guilty pleasures.
Very, very good. They were hard to score because they're obviously all over the place in regards to the 2 kind of scoring systems that I have in place. But I will say that Tracy won that one. She got 26 out of 10 out of 30.
Yeah.
26 out of 10. Well, the 10 out of 10 for the South African one. Yeah, I like that. But the other Ginny and Joanne and Nicola all scored 24. So I think we've got one more question to go. We're going to be kind of, I would imagine, very, very tight scores because they haven't been moving a lot recently, whatever. But so we'll go for the last one. Is going to be 3 dinner guests, alive or dead. And we will start this time with Nicola.
Oh, no.
Oh.
I thought this one was really hard because obviously you want to talk to everyone as well. But I couldn't help but think about Graham Norton, not as but his show, because you're watching it and you kind of think, geez, they'd be great crack to go for a pint with, and you'd love to kind of have the chats with them and stuff. But definitely one person who I would love to just sit down and have the crack with is Phoebe Waller.
Yeah.
I would great. She just seems so lovely and such crack, and just one of those kind of people that get enough drinks in her, she'll tell you what she's not supposed to tell you. You know, that sort of way, but in a funny way. Not, you don't want to be listening to any deep dark secrets
No, but I can imagine from her writing that she even from that, the way she writes and how she writes, I would say she's great crack.
Yeah, it's she says what you're not supposed to say.
Yeah.
But you're
yeah.
You know?
Olivia Colman's kind of like that, actually.
Yeah, that was another one. I was kind of in a toss-up, but sure, you only let me have 3. So
I know, but it's only a table that can fit 4.
Well, that's just
I'm sorry. Didn't make the table.
I was now, and the other one, I know it's really typical. I know it's really kind of cliche and stuff, but I would love to go for dinner with Barack Obama.
Yeah.
I just would. I think I have his book inside. I'm waiting to read it and stuff like that. But I just think he'd be sound, but he'd have just so much to talk about too. He'd be so interesting. But now, see, I was wondering, do you get a couple for the price of one? Because I wouldn't mind Michelle there either.
Well, you got to pick your favorite of the 2.
Cheating, that's cheating.
Good questions, very relevant.
Hang on a second, Tracy. Just let me deal with this. All right. Between, if you pick, who do you prefer, Barack or Michelle?
Oh,
you can't. You don't say the same because that's not true. We don't like anyone the same.
I suppose if I was going to lean into it, Michelle. I'd probably lean to Michelle.
So you went from a 10 to a 9. I know somebody. No, that's not true. I didn't write that. I didn't. So Michelle, you're going to go with Michelle.
Huh?
You're going to go with Michelle.
I'll go with Michelle. Yeah,
okay.
I think she knows an awful lot of what happens behind the closed doors. See, she's the wife, so she's not constrained.
That's
whereas
true.
Barack is oh no, I have to be, I'm the ex-president and whatnot. But she'd be here, wait, and I tell you. Oh yeah, exactly. I'd be like, Shelley, come here, tell me this.
Shelley.
Me and Shell.
Yeah, it's getting shorter every time you say the word.
Can you you imagine calling Shell?
Shell.
Belly?
Just Shell. Just Shell.
We're
Hey,
all
Shell.
imagining it, yeah.
My God,
Shell.
mortal. And then, do you know what? I'm going to stick with an all-female table. I have two fellas there, but I'm going to stick with an all-female. And the other one, because I think Phoebe Waller and her would be fierce crack to just sit back and watch, is Miriam Margolyes.
Oh, she's great.
I think I would just get a heap of wine, leave it on the table, sit back and just watch what happens.
She's amazing, yeah. The
Yeah.
stuff she says on just national television is ghastly. Joanne.
Okay. Sure, look, it's like, yeah, whoever wants to come to dinner, like, can come to dinner.
That's not the rules. You can't just invite everyone.
Okay, so I had to do like, okay, my favorite artist is like traditionally, so growing up, my favorite artist was Salvador Dali. I would love to have dinner with Salvador Dali.
Yeah.
That would be just so cool. He's such a character. I'd love to pick his brains about so many things. And just, yeah, that'd be amazing. So just me and Salvador would be cool.
Okay.
And Sally.
I don't really care who else is there. Like,
Sal, yeah.
you know,
Well,
I
he
just
strikes me as somebody that would never leave.
Yeah, he would never leave your house.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You get him in and you'd never get him
He'd
out.
just fall asleep eventually,
Yeah.
and then he'd have to go. Like
You'd
it
have to
would
get him
be
some of Ginny's airplane vaccine or whatever it is,
yes,
and chuck that in his arm and roll him down the hill.
with some of that
Yeah,
out the gap. That'd be the only way of getting rid of him.
he'd appreciate it because he's you know, he's creative in his own way, isn't he?
He's incredible, absolutely incredible. So I literally don't care who else is there. I put down Donald Trump for the crack.
Jesus
It's like
God, how many points do you want from this?
entertainment
How
of
many
that.
points do you want from this round?
A million, obviously.
No, you're not getting any for that.
Michael Jackson.
Oh God, I don't know if it,
I
who's
know,
worse.
and it's so controversial. I
It's-
was like, will I say Michael Jackson? I'm just putting him in there. It's happening.
I've had dinner with Michael Jackson. Oh my God.
Have you
I
actually?
had your dream dinner guest.
Hang on a second. Hang on a
What's going on
second.
here now?
No,
What's
it
happening?
wasn't like it was breakfast actually. It wasn't dinner, but he was at the same dinner. He was at the same dinner table with his kids. Yeah.
What? When did this happen?
I worked in a recording studio, and him and his
Oh
children,
yeah.
and Nanny stayed with us for just over 5 months. So he used to be in my office in the morning with his shower cap on, going, "Hey Tracy, how are you?" The most surreal part of my life ever. Yeah, he was there for months. So there, your dream dinner guest was at the table.
Right. Donald Trump wasn't there as well.
No sign of Donald. No, thank God.
He wasn't recording that day.
He wasn't recording. Laying down some beats. Yeah.
Yeah, you can imagine it's a gangster rap. That's I mean, you really sabotaged your scores on that one. Because I can't give you much scores for those two.
Sure, what can you do?
No, but they're it's your fantasy and you have
Mine.
it.
That's all that matters.
That's exactly it. Tracy, how about you?
I bet you can guess one of mine.
I know we've had chat. Is it a
Who am I
musical?
in love with? Not in a very wholesome way. I love this man so much. I've
Is
never met him.
Okay. Is it a musical person?
I think
Is
so.
he from Limerick?
Oh, Blind Boy.
Oh yeah. I'd
Yeah,
have
okay.
to have Blind Boy. I tell my friends all the time, I love Blind Boy, and they go, and I go, no, I love Blind
Yeah,
Boy.
yeah.
I actually
You're
love
actually
him.
in love with him.
Yeah, I'm not joking. What do you call that? Is that a parasocial thing? He doesn't know me, but I feel like he is my friend, and I love
Yeah.
him dearly. So I want
Strange.
him there because he's so entertaining. He's witty. If I'm having me dinner, I don't want to be all starstruck. I want people that can chat away and keep me entertained while I shovel food into my face, because that's my favorite thing to do in the whole world. So Blind Boy is there, and he's entertaining, and he's keeping us going. And then I also have a woman called Esther Perel. And Esther Perel is a Belgian psychotherapist, and she is possibly the most engaging person I've ever watched. She has a TED Talk, and she has a channel, and she just talks about, how humans interact, and about how we have like an inherent need for both freedom and security. And listening to her is just so fascinating. She's really, really cool. She's the daughter of two Jewish death camp or Nazi concentration camp survivors, and they're the only people from their families that survived. her mom and dad. So she's a really interesting take on relationships in the world, and she's just got a glint in her eye. She's a cool woman. So I want her there with Blind Boy. And then I'm going to bring in a lady called Snow the Product.
Okay.
Snow the Product is actually, she's an American Mexican. She's married Mexican parents. She's a rapper, but she doesn't have any of the kind of I am too cool swagger of most rappers. She has a YouTube channel again. Her and her partner Juju. She's with a woman called Juju. She has a child called Baby Drew from a previous relationship. And their YouTube channel is so entertaining because you get to watch them kind of just interact. They're funny. And they also bring you into the studio where she's making music. But she's just a really talented, but no bullshit kind of person. And I just think she'd be great crack herself. And Blind Boy would shoot the shit about music, and Esther would talk about relationships, and life would be great. And meanwhile, I'd just eat me dinner. It'd be grand.
Yeah,
I was going to say Joe Rogan, Ben Shapiro, and what's the guy that does the
Piers Morgan.
Jordan Peterson. The holy trinity of edgelords, but I didn't. I knew that would really annoy him.
Did you listen to the lads one?
Yes.
Because that's what Josh did, and he ruined his chances of winning and he was raging. He was raging after, and I'm not making this up. He was like, "Do you think if I didn't say those, I might have got higher up in the?" Yeah, you would have if you didn't say Piers Morgan, Jordan Peterson, and Joe Rogan.
I have to put it in a charger. I'm going to lose you if I don't.
Yeah, go on.
Thank you.
Ginny, you're 3.
Okay, so I just kind of went with kind of like easy, just people who would have stories and people who would just have like really cool stories, and then people who have a laugh, and then possibly once the drink is flowing, we get a bit of like music going. So I went with, first of all, I've always said I'd want to go on a beer with him, Dave Grohl.
That would be
just shit cool. He's just he just seems so down to earth, and he's just so funny, and I just think he'd just be so cool. He'd just make everyone feel at ease, I think. And then my second person is Billy Connolly. I just think Billy Connolly is, again, I think he has lived such a life. I think he'd have so many stories, but the way he'd tell them would just be so hilarious. Like, I grew up looking at all his videos. We used to get them once, like every Christmas. The new Billy Connolly video was what we used to get as a family. So I would love, and then, he loves a bit of our music as well. He loves getting out the banjo.
Yeah.
So he'd be for the session as well. And then to top it all off, I'd have to have my queen there, Stevie Nicks.
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's the best group ever.
So I just, Stevie is just queen. And again, stories, music, I think it'd be just fun. And of course, swapping hats and stuff like that would be cool as well. So
I think, like Dave Grohl seems like just a very, for the success he's had, is very ordinary person, like in the way he talks to other people. And obviously Billy Connolly's kind of always been like that, the kind of everyman. But Stevie Nicks, I would say, would have some absolutely unbelievable stories, and I think she'd be such a good guest to have on.
I'd want a table where I don't ask questions, like I don't want to know the ins and outs. Just sit there and just tell me stories about what you have done. That's what and that's I can't remember, to be honest. I'm sure John Lennon was probably on mine. I think I did, but I know you were saying it was only 3 and giving out. I think I was given 5, but it's all we can. You're going to
have Derek
after with 5.
Yeah, I know, that's true. But I can't remember. I definitely had John Lennon. I had Hattie McDaniel, and I can't remember the other ones. I might have had Barack Obama, actually. It wouldn't surprise me. But the copy, it's probably here somewhere, but I won't shuffle through it. But do you know, it's a good way of finding out. If you go and listen to episode 40 of the Weekly podcast. So while I tally up these scores, I'll give it once Tracy gets back in. I'd say her phone probably died, but I'll give you the end scores to that round. They were relatively high. So without being kind of mean to the answers of the other people, how do you think the other people answered? And don't be worried. You're not going to offend anybody or anything like that. But who do you think scored the highest? out of the other people, and I'm going to ask Joanne first.
You're going to ask us what we think that other people scored?
Yeah.
Okay, I think Ginny won that one because I.
No, in total though. I'm talking about. Do you mean the full?
Overall.
Overall, yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not answering that one.
Stick your neck on the line.
Awful questions.
Put your neck on the line. Okay, I know Nicola will. Nicola, who do you think won the whole thing out?
I feel like it could be a toss up between Tracy and Ginny. To be honest with you, I feel like myself and Joanne were kind of. I feel like we didn't hit points or something.
No.
Well, I don't know. I think
in our stride, Nicola.
Yeah.
In our stride.
Did everybody not win a round? No. No.
I don't know, to be honest.
I thought everybody won at least one round. No, maybe not. Ginny, who won?
I think possibly Tracy.
Okay, that's. I don't know yet. Like I haven't added them up. I'm just going to keep an eye out in case she is having problems here. No, not yet. But yeah, like I have obviously, like as I say, I can't add them. I haven't added them up, but I think with all the rounds, with maybe exception the last one, they were quite close. Like so, hold on, Tracy's trying to get back in again. But it's really for anyone to take. But if I was to think off the top of my head, I would say Tracy or Ginny. But I obviously I don't know yet. I would say it's probably not Joanne, but no, it's only because your dinner thing. No, it is Joanne. Okay. I can't be on this, right? I can't be on a mental health podcast, right? And giving Donald Trump or Michael Jackson points.
Yes, I completely. Salvador Dali though.
No, he got 10. He got 10 out of 10. He got 10, right?
Yeah, he was cool.
Trump got 5 and Michael Jackson got 4. Like, imagine he got less than Trump.
Yeah. 4?
Oh, he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he's done some bad things in his life. I can't score that man highly. Let me. Right, she's put in a little message of "let me in." I'm trying to let her in. Okay.
She's tapping on the Zoom door.
She's tapping, but I did. What's it called? You know when it comes up and I let her come in.
I'd say the battery went.
Yeah. This is still recording, which is probably no. You can talk away. Don't worry about that. It's better than dead air, like I'm producing. Okay, there we go. I sent her a message that I would click her in. But yeah, so just with the Michael Jackson thing. But Nicola got a very high score. Like, I can tell you the scores on this one actually. Unmute me and allow video. I didn't mute. Did I mute someone? I don't think I muted. I don't even know how to mute.
I don't think you can mute anybody.
Oh, wait, will I ask to? Oh no, you can ask to unmute her, but I don't know what is that.
I genuinely don't know how to mute people in this. So
I think if you click on the right, do you know the way there's the 3 dots there? If you just click on that, you should be able to ask to unmute.
Okay.
But I don't think you can actually unmute.
Oh, I've clicked ask to unmute, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I've clicked that now, but
what prize do we win if we win, Derek?
What prize do you win?
Yeah.
I don't think you have to worry about it.
Oh, you don't have to worry about that. No.
I'm fine. I'll rephrase. What prize does somebody else win?
Well, I'll negotiate with the winner. I am doing on here. I'm doing the ask to unmute, but it's just like not.
It's not working, man.
It's just not happening for me.
Oh, she's gone again.
She's gone again. Sweating now, but I'm just going to add up these scores while we're doing it, because I have to. Is there actually? I asked the lads this when they were on. Is there anybody that you'd think would be a good? You don't have to name a person, but you know, whether it's a therapist or somebody who's in a profession that you think could be interesting to have on the podcast. How about you, Joanne, first?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I have a few people in connection to the arts therapists.
Yeah.
I'm always down for promoting creative arts therapists. So 100%, I have a few people that I could contact that could potentially be interested in coming on. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and even in the Dancing Soul as well, where we're based, myself and Tracy, there would be a few therapists there that I know would have a lot to say in terms of mental health. They would be incredibly knowledgeable and have lots of experience to bring to the table. So yeah, 100%. I can do some asking for you. 100%.
Because I think I do have someone written down still from the dancing. Like I'd have to look through like the notebooks or whatever. But there is definitely somebody else that I had written down, because I've obviously had 3 or 4 on, I think, at this stage, maybe 5. Like, so it's been great.
A load of us in there, like as in there's about 20 odd therapists like that come and go, and there's a couple of new ones now joining us now in the next couple of months. So yeah, it might be interesting to get on a couple of newbies as well, actually, what they have to bring to the table. 100%.
Brilliant. It's good. Tracy.
Tracy. It's okay.
Unbelievable.
I'm a disaster. I am so sorry. Have I spoiled everyone's life?
Yeah, you've ruined everything.
We're going to scrap it.
Yeah, it's over.
Nothing I would do. It kept saying the host would not allow you to unmute. Sorry, Derek.
It's all right. It's all right. We were just. I'll actually jump over to Nicola, but we're just asking. Yeah, we're asking about people that you think would be good to come on, or not even people, but like a profession or a therapist or something. But Nicola, do you have anyone that you think would be a good idea for whether it's regard to mental health or not? Because it can be nothing to do with mental health, and just someone who's a bit of crack, really.
No, I was like racking my brain there. When you're put on the spot?
I know, it's a shitty question.
You know what? Ask me in 20 minutes time after I just think about it. But who actually kind of popped into my head? She'll kill me for putting her forward. But one of the women that I used to work with, Angela Ryan White, she actually runs a script writing festival in Burr.
Oh, wow.
And it's really grown over the years too as well. And she also works in Jigsaw too, in the youth participation aspect of Jigsaw too. But she has a big theatre background too as well. And obviously she's worked in Jigsaw as a mental health organization. So, I think she'd be like a wealth of information. And obviously with the festival too, just anything to kind of promote it a bit further.
Yeah.
Herself. She just popped into my head, but I will DM you with anybody else that comes.
Yeah, I again, it's that idea of, obviously I love having people on that are very specific to a skill or their job, but it's great to have people on who can cover a few different topics in that. So anybody come to mind for you, Ginny, without naming a name? If you don't want to name a name, you can name a name if you want to.
I was thinking kind of something a little bit more along like the whole child therapy thing.
Oh yeah.
Children's therapy, and just touching it even more, just because I think it's like if we can tackle it then, it's going to, and the people, because I've heard recently just so many people, especially with the whole COVID thing, where kids, they just don't know what to do with the kids, so I think if that was maybe approached. And then as well, I do have a mission to get as many of my brothers and sisters on as well. So I would love designer sister Ger Breslin to get on. If I could. Yeah,
I would love Ger to come on. Shout out to Ger. We have had 2 Breslins on so far, so we're looking for the hat trick. Ger, if you're listening, I'm sure you're listening. Well, how about you, Tracy?
Apologies again for dipping out. I'm so sorry. So funnily enough, I was just thinking about a fellow hypnotherapist and fellow Wexford woman, Karina McAvoy, because only the other day I heard her on another podcast, right? But she deals with kids, psychoeducation and hypnotherapy and that with children. And listening to her talk, I was thinking to myself, if I met somebody like her when I was little, my life would have been. Now I'm not unhappy with where I am, but my God, have I had some unhealthy coping mechanisms through my teens, 20s, early 30s. And, I just thought it's such amazing work to help kids, when they're young, just like Ginny said, you get it at the source, and they don't have to grow up with this crippling anxiety and no tools to deal with when things are stressful or upsetting. And that stuff saves lives. It's amazing. And I was listening to her and I just found her really engaging. And I thought she's a cool woman and she'd be a great podcast guest as well. And I reckon we could definitely wangle her in. I'd make her.
See, like sometimes when I really want to, because it's one of those things that I did have the question written down, but if we didn't kind of get time to it, but some great kind of ideas there to have people on, and we'll see what we can do. So actually, I should say for the last round, it was, what was it? Dinner guest, Joanne, I'm sorry, you got 19 points. Tracy got 26 points.
Amazing.
And she got docked for going missing for half an hour.
Yeah, actually.
I don't think you did.
Tracy got 24 points.
Why did I get that idea?
No, I wouldn't. Ginny got 28 points. And Nicola got 29 points. So, without further ado, we might as well get on with it.
Did she get something?
So, in what?
Did she get something?
Who? Tracy?
The winner.
No. It's a bit of fun.
It's all over. Then we have to go home and go to bed.
I'm already home. I'm fine. You can get okay. Oh look, you can have this €50 gift voucher for each unique. There you go. I didn't give the lads anything though, but
congratulations.
I'm sitting.
But again, Joanne, you don't have to worry about it because you finished fourth spot with 104 points. Very good job. Just wait from the microphone. In joint second, would you believe? I told you they were close. In joint second on 122 points, we have Nicola and Tracy. So obviously, the winner on 128 points, so by 6, which was pretty good, is Ginny Breslin. Well done, Ginny, and well done to everyone, because it was very entertaining for me and definitely for the people who are going to tune into the podcast and have a listen, because they are like, I know I was kind of taking a piss in. They are difficult questions if you don't obsess about these things, which I do. And I have a lot of time in my hands. I sit there and I think, what are the best films of all time? And then I think it was Nicola that mentioned about like the size of it, or the director. I can't remember who mentioned it, but it was. I think about all those things, so I have them. Like that's my second favorite film. It's on my wall. I couldn't forget. My favorite film's on the wall over the other side. They're there all the time.
So what is it, Derek?
That one.
What is your favorite movie of all time?
Oh, my favorite is 12 Angry Men.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Amazing.
I love that film. And so it just, I think about them a lot. So it always comes across as easy to me, but I know it's not. But obviously, I want to say a big congratulations to Ginny, but to all of you for coming on the podcast, of course. And I'm going to have to take a photo with you. I need to get this thing off my or that better not. If I hit close and the whole thing closes, oh my God, I'm so nervous.
If anyone's going to mess this up, let it be me. I'm really good at messing it up.
Hey, the only reason that thing is there is because of you. I just need to get the view back to normal. So let me just, before I close it out, I want to say thank you very much to all of you for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Derek.
That's all right. It's
nice to have something lighthearted as well, because I know you have a lot of guests that
drain me.
Amazing. But it's important stuff that is going out there, and so it's nice to have something a little bit lighthearted too as well. We can.
And do you know it's great because I've had you on before, each of you on before, and I've been able to relax in that sense, but also knowing that it's just a bit of fun and there's no heavy stuff. And it was I was looking forward to it today, even when I was like in training and stuff. I was like looking forward to coming back and recording it. So thank you very much. Let me just close this out by saying my thank yous to the other people and the usual nonsense. Did I do the advert? Oh, I did do the advert. Okay, right. Thank you very much to John Francis for all his work behind the scenes. Fair play to you, John. And And for the people who helped me put this together and continue to help me with my mental health, my mom, my dad, my granddad, Jer and Calvin for what they do with the logo and the music. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you would. Like I said at the start, it's very helpful. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I'm very funny on there. So you can listen to us on Spotify, Apple, Anchor, Google Podcasts, etc. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening, as I said. And thank you very much to the competitors this evening.
Yay, go us.
Right, everybody, we're off for another week, and we will chat to you next week. Take care. Bye.